Today, I'm revealing the best 1-minute scalping strategy I've ever built. One that helps you catch insane moves in just 90 minutes per day. The backtest, over 20,988% return over 5 years with steady gains every single year since 2020. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's win some trades. Let's start here with the trading performance before I teach you my 1-minute scalping strategy in full. So, let's start a backtest here. You can see this is just a 2025 backtest starting with $10,000, and it goes up to around $16,000 using my 1-minute scalping strategy I'm about to teach you. Now, I'm using my trading robot to provide this data, but you don't need my trading robot in order to use this strategy. But for the members of the Trade with Pat robot, I will have the 1-minute set file in the video description for you to download. Now, these performance numbers here are just from one single pair. I actually use this on many pairs. I'm going to teach you how to use the 1-minute scalping strategy on 4 trades, showing you 4 separate pairs, but I don't promise or guarantee any future trading results. Past results like this backtest here do not guarantee future performance. So let's get into the strategy. Let's start with a trade from the backtest here that the robot took for $6,000 in just under 40 minutes. Now, in order to do this yourself, I want you to install 2 indicators. Come up to indicators right here, type EMA. We're going to click on that right there. We're going to set the EMA to 100. I like the length of 100 when I'm using the 1-minute time frame. The next indicator is the opening range with breakouts. I'm going to want you to click on that right there. Come to settings. We want the time period to be 5 minutes, and we want this to be 9:30 to 9:35. Our opening range is just 5 minutes. And in this video, you're going to see I'm UTC -4 because I'm looking at the past, but we are past daylight saving time. So when you're installing this, you want this to be UTC -5, okay? And the same down here, you want this to be UTC -5 for current market because we are past daylight savings time. Now, let's zoom in a little bit here. This works on any Forex pair, any asset. The first thing that we're doing is we are setting the range for the day. That range is just 5 1-minute candles or 1 5-minute candle. We set the top of the range and we set the bottom of the range. Then come to the 1-minute time frame. I'm already on the 1-minute time frame, and we are looking for an impulsive move outside the range on either the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. You could see we are waiting, and eventually we get that move right there, okay? We break and close. But this wasn't a very impulsive move, so we go on and we wait for a more impulsive move. And what I mean by impulsive move is this. Look, it explodes out of the zone right here. So we have our impulsive move. We create a level of demand right here on the red candle before the big push up with all the green candles. At this point, the price is above our EMA, so it's in line with the trend. We want to trade with the trend. And our bias doesn't really matter that much, but we do want to set up our fib retracement. So click right here to the fib retracement and mark from the swing low to the swing high, which is right here, and then pull that across. We should play this out a little bit more, make sure that swing high isn't any higher. You want to always be entering at a discounted price. So for my stop loss, I'm usually going to put this below the range midline. You could see we have the range midline right about there. And for my take profit, I'm going to target usually recent price action, something like this right here. And then I'm going to set a limit order, right? So I'm going to set my limit order in the demand right down here. So when price comes to that level like that, it taps me into the trade. You can see I was trying to catch the candle here. It wasn't a perfect entry, but trading is never perfect, even though you see me get these sniper entries on stream every single day. And here it is, the price pushes up and smashes my take profit perfectly, tapping that recent price action. Now, that's a simple version of the strategy. With each trade, I'm going to teach you a little bit more so that by the end of the video, you can use this 1-minute scalping strategy perfectly. But before we move into the second trade, tell me about the best win you've ever had in the comments section, and I'll give my 3 favorite comments free access to my VIP trading room. Now let's move into trade number 2. Now I'm going to show you a US US 30 trade. This works really, really well on indices. There's actually a full academic paper of this trading strategy on indices. I have it linked on my website. You could check it out yourself, but my version of this strategy is even better. So the first thing we're always looking for is that range, right? The first 5 1-minute candles here, 9:30 to 9:35, that sets our range. Then we're waiting for price to break out of that range, and that's exactly what happens here. Price breaks and closes outside of the range right here, and we get a significant impulsive move out of the zone. You can see we come out of the zone. It's a nice impulsive move. That's what we want to see, and then we want to find ourselves an entry. So on this trade, I decided to enter at a fair value gap right here. What is a fair value gap? It's a 3-candle pattern. You can see this candle right here doesn't come up and fill this gap, and this candle right here does not come up and fill this gap either. That creates an imbalance in the markets right here, and it's very close to the top of our range. So I'm expecting a sniper entry reaction off of this level. Now, the next thing I'm doing is I'm grabbing the Fibonacci retracement here. I'm marking it from the bottom, the swing low, to the swing high here, and I'm swinging that across. Now, I'm always trying to get the price below the 50% retracement because the market moves in waves, right? So you want to catch the wave down in order to get the push up perfect. You don't want to be in drawdown. Now, in this trade, you could see I'm not below the 50%, but I'm close enough to that discount zone that I really like that entry. And it's also really close to the top of the orb here as well. And of course, we are trading with the trend, as you could see our EMA right here. So there's just so many reasons to take this trade, and let's go ahead and let that price tap into the fair value gap. You can see it consolidated a little bit at this level right here, but inevitably came up, smashing my take profit perfectly. Now, this is why I used the fair value gap. You'll frequently see me enter trades at fair value gaps, enter trades at demand zones like this, because those are the levels where you're getting the biggest reaction, where you can actually get a sniper entry. Now, the next trade is really important for you to see, but before we get into that, if you're looking for a place to trade, I recommend the AAAFX broker. The spread's low, the commission's low, MetaTrader's the best platform, so click the link in the description. Registration is free. Now, let's get into trade number 3. Now, if you've been watching me on live stream, you know right now I'm on a 5-trade win streak, and if I hit 10 in a row, I'm probably going to get a spray tan or something stupid, so come check out the live streams. Now let's get into trade number 3. This is a gold trade. You know I love trading gold. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The range is set, right? Top of the range right here, bottom of the range, just 930 to 935, New York Stock Exchange open. Then we want to see the price break out the top or the bottom. In this case, look, price broke out the bottom pretty good, decent impulsive move, created a fair value gap right there at the bottom of the range. So that's a nice little entry for us right there. So what did I do? I waited for price to come there. I made sure that I measured from the swing high here to the swing low here. And you could see we were getting price at that 50% level again, which is nice. We want to be below there or above there in a sell. And then price tapped into the level, went in our direction a little bit. If I was in a live stream, I might have taken a partial here and been all right. But this was a live trade I took by myself, and I actually lost the trade here. I got this one very, very wrong. And I made a pretty big mistake here. If I put the EMA on the chart, you could see we were in an uptrend, right? So I tried myself a counter trend trade. I relied on the orb, right? We had the break out the bottom of the orb. I felt like that was strong enough and we might get a market reversal. But that's my mistake, and that's where robots can sometimes be better than humans because they are always going to follow the rules. Now, I've got one more trade to show you, and you have to see this trade. I promise it's worth it. Okay, so for my 4th and last trade I'm going to show you, I took this trade on live stream using this strategy just 2 days ago, part of my 5 straight win streak right here. At the time of this picture, we were up about 1,300. Now let's break this thing down, right? I'm going to show you this one on the 5-minute time frame. You could see the orb was created right here, but the setup's the same, right? It's just the 1 5-minute time frame, right? 9:30 to 9:35, and you could see right here, I have UTC -5 now because this is past daylight savings time. This trade just happened the other day. So what do? We're watching to see the breakout. Look, a huge breakout, absolutely massive, right? So we get that big impulsive move. Let's take our Fibonacci right here from the bottom to the top, the swing high to the swing low. Well, this one is definitely below 50%. We're actually catching an entry on this one all the way down here, around 90% retracement. Okay, so we're getting a huge pullback. Why do I want a huge pullback? Because I was seeing big red candles. You can see these big red candles right there. It entered the trade, but I was vibe trading, man. I was moving this down, right? My initial entry was up here, right, at the top of the range, but I pulled it down here. Why? Because we had this level of support down here, right? This is where we can get away from the mechanical, right? If you took the trade right at the top of the range like we've been doing, you might have lost this trade. But when I saw these huge red candles, I was thinking, all right, I still want to catch an entry here, but these candles are telling me price is slamming down. So I waited for price to come down. I had this level of support mapped out right here. So I entered my trade at this position right there, and it also happened to be at the EMA. And when I'm trading the 5-minute time frame, I like the 200 EMA. So let's go ahead and play this out. You could see here, we went up and we didn't smash a take profit. Why? Because I didn't really have a take profit. Maybe I was going to target this level up here, right? I wasn't sure. I was trading live, watching the price action. On my stream, you'll see how I do it if you ever come. And so I waited. At that level, I felt like we created a new level of resistance when we pushed off. So at that point, I said, I'm going to take that as my take profit if price ever reaches it. And you could see price reached it right there. And that's a good 1-to-2 risk reward ratio that I did live on stream in front of thousands of traders. Now, I hope this 1-minute scalping strategy helps you with your scalping. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. If you like the strategy and you want to automate it, check out tradewithpat.com. The set file I used in the backtest will be provided in the video description. Obviously, always check out my VIP trading room. I send trades like this in there every single week as well. Now, I'm not finished with you. Maybe watch this video right here, and I'll be back next week. Much love.